No, you know what? He needs to do this. He needs to vent. I mean, he's been taken out so many times at the end of a race, whether it's a nationwide race or whatever. And, you know, he should be mad.
But Joey has to stand up for himself at some point in time. I think you're seeing Joey say, I'm not going to take this anymore.
Joey Logano's got a lot of heart. You know, this crew's worked really hard. Unfortunately, Biffle bragged about taking a cheap shot on the radio. Then he went out and did it. It's a shame that we got to race against cowards like that.
Joey Logano's career redemption is an incredibly interesting story that is still being told today.
Pretty raw deal. It's pretty stupid. You can't fix stupid. It's forever. So, you know, you remember that, you put it in your memory bank.
And here is Kevin Harvick, and this was 4-5. Whoa, go ahead, Kevin. Bump and run, baby. Harvick gets 5th, and Logano gets dumped to 14th. Until he starts pushing back, people are going to keep pushing him.
You're absolutely right, Kyle. He's got to man up on some of these guys, because you're going to get pushed around in this business until you do.
Until you do, man. Until you do. Earnhardt and those guys were the best at nudging you, rubbing you, leaning on you.
Bullied by the brash. So much so that it almost ruined his career.
The groove right in front of Danny Hamlin, and wait for it, wait for it. Pow.
What did we say when we were watching this? If he doesn't move Jeff Gordon, somebody's going to move him.
That's exactly what happened with his ex-teammate from Joe Gibbs Racing, Denny Hamlin, in the 11.
I see he was coming for me, so I usually don't see him, so it's usually not a factor.
He was left with no choice but to bully them back.
Welcome to the Pocono Mountains of Pennsylvania.
Boy, as we look out, it could not be more perfect for this very big crowd that settled in this afternoon.
June 10, 2012, Joey Logano sat on the pole at Pocono with a new track record. Joey has publicly stated at this point his career was on life support, and he had to win. The man he raced for the win was not only a living legend and maybe the cleanest driver ever, but the man who always publicly vouched for Logano's talents behind the wheel. Joey was left with a decision that would ultimately change his career forever.
Logano on the charge, trying to make the inside move on Martin into turn number 1. He can't get there. Tucked right up under the spoiler. Martin is loose. Logano moves him up out of the groove, and they're side by side now. Logano slides to the inside of the racetrack. Joey Logano takes the lead off turn 1.
Joey Logano off turn number 3. His only other Sprint Cup win was in a rain situation at New Hampshire. Today, it's all guts. He did it. He made it happen today, winning the Pocono 400. Joey Logano gets the win, beating veteran Mark Martin to the line.
It's not how I would have done it, but certainly if I'd have had a fast enough car, he would have gotten a return. I've always known since I saw him drive at 11 years old that he could be Cup champion. I knew it then.
He said have no fear, I guess. I don't know.
Joey's struggle-filled first 4 years on the Cup level almost cemented his place as nothing more than a NASCAR bust. But Joey getting the win at Pocono was a huge reason he got the call from defending Cup Series championship owner Roger Penske. Penske Racing gave Logano a fresh start and a boost of confidence. Joey has publicly stated he knew this was his last chance, and he had to make the most of it, even if it meant making some enemies along the way.
Hi, everybody, and welcome. High atop the Speedway here, we got a racetrack that has almost 8 lanes.
Well, here's the biggest difference, Mike. I don't think there's any freeways you can run 215 mile an hour on. And that's what we're going to see today, folks. The only thing that keeps you in this racetrack is the wall.
Entering the 5th race of the year in 2013 at Auto Club Speedway, Joey's first season at Penske Racing started underwhelmingly slow, and he looked to be solidified as a one-hit wonder bust. But the week before at Bristol Motor Speedway, Joey was surprisingly battling for the race lead when he was spun out by his former Joe Gibbs Racing teammate, Denny Hamlin. After the race, Joey Logano approached Denny Hamlin's car and told him, "I'm coming for you." Denny responded in the post-race interview saying, "I usually don't see him, so he's usually not a factor." What would happen the very next week would shock everyone and change Joey's path forever.
And NASCAR's had a long history of drivers and feuds and going at each other. Former Joe Gibbs teammates Denny Hamlin and Joey Logano, they had at it in Bristol last week. Hamlin in the 11, Logano in the 22. It even went into post-race when Logano went over to Hamlin and the teams got into it. The war continued with words over Twitter throughout the week. They had actually been exchanging some Twitter comments prior to all this. Hamlin told Logano on Twitter, "Hush, little child." Hamlin has since apologized for the wreck and the Twitter bashing. Here's Logano.
I don't consider anything an apology until it's personally made. So that's my response to that.
Until this kid goes up there and pops somebody up upside the head, they're going to keep taking advantage of him. They know that he's just going to come and going to tweet me, or he's going to confront me, but not in a mean kind of way. He's got to stand up for himself. He's got to get. All right, folks, come on, get up off your seat. Get up on your feet. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing, boys.
Look at these two right here, though. Joey Logano in that 22 and Denny Hamlin in 11. And of course, you guys talked about it in the pre-race. Go back to Bristol. Denny Hamlin's running third. Joey Logano's running second. Denny Hamlin pretty much dumped his former teammate in turn 2 late in the race.
Yeah, and Larry, the longer they run together like this, the less that feud becomes. Because there's a point in there when you start saying, okay, you're not going to do anything to me. I'm not going to do anything to you. Let's just be a couple of smart race car drivers here. We got a long way to go. This is the way you let a guy know that you're not happy with him. You hit the nail. And this is what I used to do. You aggravate a guy. You just do everything you can to say, is he going to hit me or not? I think he scraped him right there.
That couldn't have got much closer.
And that's the doubt you want Denny Hamlin to have in his mind. Kind of like Clint Eastwood standing over, you know?
Teammates last year, rivals this year. Friends, maybe never. But Joey Logano and Denny Hamlin are going to settle this right now.
Whoa, Hamlin cut him some slack. He had a run on him. Hamlin, Joey got loose. He got a little sideways off the floor.
There you go.
Hamlin gave him a shot. One to go.
Outside, barely. Outside.
Hamlin there. Logano to the bottom, trying to hold his ground.
That's going to be tough, though. But he's been running good on the bottom. If he can just clear Hamlin right there.
No way. He's going to lose his momentum. They're going to touch hard. Are they going to make it?
Neck and neck.
Down the back, side by side.
Kyle Busch closing in.
Watch out for the third place car, Kyle Busch. He's looking.
Hamlin edges ahead. They get it. They touch. They touch, and here comes Kyle. Hamlin, Logano on the wall. Hamlin spins down the racetrack, and Kyle Busch wins in California.
I thought they'd be nice to each other. They weren't. Hard impact on the 11 car, head on. I don't like the looks of that.
Hard hit to the inside wall for Hamlin. A bounce off the outside wall for Logano.
Watch his car. Watch the back of the car. Ooh, I mean, the whole car just came up off the ground.
And I don't see any safer barrier in that area right there.
I don't either, Larry.
But, Darrell, I agree with you. That's not over-aggression. That's not payback. That's two drivers racing hard for the win and refusing to lose.
I'd fire both of them if they didn't do that. I am a little concerned for Denny because that was an incredibly hard hit.
And boy, Tony Stewart is after Logano.
Well, I did see some punches thrown today. You can't say they're just pushing each other. Not sure what went on between Stewart and Logano.
There's fighting going on the pit lane. Stewart and Logano began fighting. Fists were flying. The crew members got
no question. Joey blocked him, cut him off right there, and I'm sure that's what Coney. That you know, quite honestly, it's a restart for heaven's sake. And, I mean, nobody did anything wrong. You know, Joey did nothing wrong.
And that's Stewart going for the win, and it's Logano trying to go as low as he can go.
Come on, boys, we're racing.
And Denny Hamlin has been helped into the ambulance after a hard crash into the inside wall.
That's what he gets.
Joey finally stands up for himself and gets his revenge, but at what cost?
You know, I'm the one that has to go through rehab 3 times a week. You know, I'm the one that's got to wear this brace for 6 weeks or however long. And he gets to go to a racetrack.
He didn't get the message, and he better get it soon if he wants to make it in this sport. Look, Joey.
He's nothing but a little rich kid that has never had to work in his life, so he's going to learn with us working guys that had to work our way up how it works.
Now there will be a discussion.
22 pushing you up into the wall there, and it got pretty heated. What did you say to Joey?
Really dumb driving there at the end. So you got to be aggressive, but you still got to use your head. You can't just detach it and lay it on the floorboard.
That yellow 22 car had been pretty aggressive all day long, and I just felt like it was a matter of time before his pushes were a little much.
Around goes the 20, sideways in front of the 22. Kansas slides, caution comes out.
Yeah, you're there. If he'd have left the lane like you should have, nothing would have happened. We blocked too many times. I get it, man. It's fine. Stop it. Yeah, the deal. Yeah, 10-4. I mean, he blocked you once. Second time, he gotcha.
I was clear, green, stood clear, and I checked, and I pulled up in front of him, and he usually had me for 3 car lines, lifted my rear tires off the ground, never lifted, getting into one, just dumped me.
Cleared by Logano, maybe no! Kansas takes him out! Logano into the wall! Caution comes out and the crowd roars!
Race 1, round 3, and a free pass to Homestead.
Once you win, you're in.
Hey man, we're at a short track. Tempers flare here. If you mess up and you're one of those 8, you might miss that championship. It won't be a part of the Final Four.
That's what it's all about.
3 years later, Joey would seek redemption at the very track and race he was humbled at before. Still using the same aggressive driving style and mentality that carried him this far, and he wasn't looking back. Joey had created enemies, lost friends, and a wounded reputation in the garage and the media. All because he pushed back.
Now, 4 laps to go. Logano's holding him off on the outside.
Look at this run the 22 has on the exit of turn 2. 22's holding him so tight on corner exit. Look from this view how tight he's going to hold him on corner exit, not allow him to use the throttle.
He moves up the track, contact again. Logano still up front.
That almost scares me a little bit. That allows the 78 to square up on that rear bumper, just move him out of the way.
He looks to the inside again. Now Martin Truex Jr. setting him up. Coming up on 2 laps of racing to go at Martinsville.
Look at that run on the high groove.
Clear by 3 feet, all clear, 2 to go.
So much pressure inside these cars.
This is an incredible drive by Joey Logano, regardless of the result.
He raced him clean again to the inside. Martin Truex Jr. has the advantage as they come up the turn. He'll see the white flag one more time around. Martin Truex Jr. on the inside, looking for his first short track win, as well as a trip to Miami to try to defend his championship. The 2017 champion, will he get the bumper? Yes, he does. Here comes Logano. Logano on the inside, a drag race, they're sideways, and it's going to be Logano getting the win. Joey Logano fighting back.
Miami, baby.
Truex not happy.
Great job, buddy.
Logano put the bumper to the back of the 78 when they were going through 3 and 4. It moved Truex Jr. up the track enough that he had an opening. And the first thing you heard on the radio, Miami, baby. Logano has secured a spot in the championship 4.
Man, it's a trip to Miami. It's a trip to Homestead. And it's the last lap. It's for a clock.
This is a clock and a championship. Remember, Joey Logano, so close to a championship a few years ago. I'd be mad too.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you drove the guy clean. You gave him respect. You could have moved him out of the way, and you didn't. And he did it to you. So,
may won the battle, but he ain't win the damn war.
That's it?
That's it.
So he's not going to get there. He's not going to win the championship.
He ain't.
You know, some are going to like it. I said haters are going to hate a little bit, but I'm a hard racer. And I don't think that's a secret to anyone. And we're here to win a championship this year.
Run speed all day long. It's kind of a finish. It's kind of a run to the end. It's tailor-made for him.
All the way to the back bumper of the 78, now to the outside. Here comes Logano, trying to take the lead away.
Wow,
he drives past the 78. He'll take the lead as they go down the backstretch.
Buried that car down into turn 1.
How did that car stick? That's incredible.
Well, he has risen well above the pressure as he comes out of turn number 4.
9 years old, leads the winner, coming in flag. Wow, Joey Logano, big win. The battle big head for the little man. Come on around here, buddy. Let them see you. Come here. Y'all look at this. Come here, buddy. This is what was driving this thing. Doggone. Oh. Let's do it one more time where you can see y'all on your feet.
Some fast cars behind us and had to hold them off, and I guess we did.
Hey, his daddy's down here with him. He weighs about 50 pounds. Back straight away. I want to see y'all outdo the front. Stand on your feet and cheer one time. Man, you led for a while. You got behind, but you come back. Tell me about it. First win ever here with us.
We didn't know what to do. We knew the track. The race before us was a long race.
To claim his first ever Cup Series championship, it's Joey Logano who wins.
Oh man, that was the coolest thing I ever did. That was awesome. I mean, we didn't have a really good car in the beginning. Come in, made a really good pit stop. Came out past about 2 cars. Just kept picking them off, and man.
All right, so you're going to be 16 in about, what, 3 weeks?
Yeah, May 24th, so, yeah, I guess.
How are you going to spend your 16th birthday?
I'm going to get my license, is what I'm going to do. I'm going to get my license, I'm going to drive around all day long.
You're the man! You are the man when it comes down to it. Champion. Awesome job, man.
I've always known since I saw him drive at 11 years old that he could be Cup champion. I knew it then.
You know what they say, nice guys finish last. It may piss a lot of people off.
Any blows landed between the two of you?
None to me.
Stop!
Say, short track racing.
What angered you at the end of the race? What did you take issue with?
What the hell do you think I was mad about? Dumb little runs us clear down to the infield. He wants to about everybody else, and he's the one that drives like a little. I'm gonna bust his ass.
The problem with Joey is he's two-faced. You put him on the racetrack, when he puts his helmet on, he flips the switch on the back of his head.
From being at the end of his career rope to climbing over others on his way to the top. That's the story of how Joey Logano became the bully.